Okay, so today's watch is the North Edge Triton. The model is Triton. They don't have regular model numbers. I have the Baltic Blue as well as the Phantom Black. But the blue is the one I choose to wear, and the black I'll be finding a new home for. They do have, North Edge has a Triton TI, which is their titanium version. And I've seen the dials. I actually think that dial looks better. Had I seen that first, I might have purchased that. But this is the first watch that I'm doing in this appreciation series that I purchased specifically to decide whether I liked this type of watch. Quick check-in, if you're here wondering why I'm reviewing watches, I am in watch jail, self-imposed. I'm not buying another watch to assemble or for myself until I've posted at least 20 appreciation videos and sketched up and researched my watches a little bit better, one a day or more. But that's the goal, to truly get a better understanding and a connection to these watches. Now, some of the watches in this, I have connections anyway. They're gifts. They have a history. They're tied to something even before I got into watches. But since I got into watches about a year ago, my collection went up by 30 watches very quickly, less than a year ago. And so now, before I keep adding to that and getting those dopamine hits, I'm doing this. So today's watch is the North Edge Triton. If you know this watch, you know this is a very inexpensive watch. I got both of these for less than $46 each off of AliExpress. This watch comes from Xiamen, China. Probably not saying that right. But because it comes from China, I have no concerns about buying it from AliExpress. I don't have many concerns about buying from AliExpress anyway. But I did purchase these on sale from Ali. I bought the blue matching silicone strap. And this one I got with the bracelet, the stainless steel bracelet. Absolutely hated that bracelet. Too light, hollow. You can imagine for this price point, you're not going to get a good bracelet, but I wanted to see the difference. I slapped on a Milanese mesh bracelet on the black one to see if I like that. I did not, mostly because this thing is thick, 16.1 millimeters thick to be exact. And with this silicone strap, this sweet, sweet silicone strap, by far the most comfortable strap I've ever worn with a watch. That actually does make it fit and not look nearly as big, right? So it's not such a monster. And it's 45 plus millimeters, we'll just say 46 wide. So it fits, that matches the thickness. It kind of evens out, kind of similar to the Sea Star I did yesterday. But I mean, look at that dial. It's so beautiful. It's a ceramic dial. It is Hardlex crystal. As you can imagine, for this price point, you're not going to get sapphire. I'm a fan of the crystal because it can be polished out if it gets scratched and it's less likely to break. And when I'm hopping around in the pool, I'm not diving with this thing, but when I'm, messing around the farm, messing around the pool, whatever, I'm going to bang this thing. I'm going to bang it on countertops. I'm going to bang it in the barn. I was emptying out my barn into a lot of old tools and stuff yesterday and this morning, and I don't worry about this watch. And that's what I like about an inexpensive watch. But I bought this to see if I even like this style. It's got that wave pattern. I don't know how well that's going to show up on here. Let me try and get the angle. It's a cool wave pattern. You all are familiar with this. Adi's Dive has it in inexpensive watches. It's very popular. Of course, Omega, I believe, is where that's coming from, and that's where this entire style is coming from, probably this one more so, which is exactly why I bought it. This is a watch I bought to see, do I like this style? Do I like this feel? Do I like this thickness? No, I'm not going to spend $600, $1,000, $6,000 to see if I like something. I'm going to spend $46, and I love this. So a little bit more about North Edge real quick while we're talking about them. They're in China. They come from China. 96 roughly this watch or this company appeared. The history's sketchy, so who knows? It's tied to some adventurer storyline, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. The movement in this, they don't release the exact movement. I've got 3 that came up in 3 different sources. A Miyota 2035, a Miyota ML2016. It is solar quartz, so there's a capacitor. It says solar in red here. And I actually really like the colorway, the second hand that's red, the way that looks. The hands look good. The little solar in red looks good. But it is a solar, so it's got capacitors running on a Miyota, most likely, but it could be an Epson VS42. Doesn't mean anything to me, really, other than some cool numbers and letters. And now, this is rated 330 bar, 300 meter, 990 feet. However, looky, we've got a 4-screw back, okay? So, first of all, I'm never going that deep. I've said it before, I've said it again. I'm probably not going to breach 12 feet, right? The depth of a pool. I might deep dive a snorkel down to like 16 feet if I'm lucky one of these days. I won't dive again because of nasty vertigo. I was very lucky and blessed to have a beautiful dive in Turks and Caicos, a shelf dive. I got horrible vertigo for a week after that and decided I didn't need to dive anymore. So a diver for me is aesthetic and something I don't have to take off when I jump in the pool. And this will hit that, not to mention how good it looks with my tattoo, my blue ink. This is just a banger of a watch. And I can't tell you about the silicone strap. I will buy silicone rubber straps going forward because I love this strap. I like it so much more than the strap I had on the Citizen Pro Master dive that I just sent to my friend. That was a stiff, hard strap. And maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe this will get cut and you wouldn't want this as a real diver. I can't speak to that. What I can speak to is comfort, look, feel. This is that. This is fantastic. So no history here. I hope to have some stories and a lot of wear time and to develop some history. But I truly appreciate this watch. I'm excited to rehome this one with somebody who can get the value out of that. Didn't cost much, so it's going to be, a giveaway or something. But yeah, this, you can't go wrong with this. Look, if you're a jelly belly about, I don't know, the Omega or whatever else, and you're not going to take, this is not ISO certified. You're not really diving with this thing. You can't go wrong with a North Edge Triton. And I believe I will have this until I figure out a way to break it. So that's it. That's today's appreciation. I genuinely appreciate this watch. It's really, really cool. And crazy, crazy cheap.